I'm Caleb Brooks with the AHSAA Radio Network. I'm at Greenville High School, joined by head football coach, Coach Josh Mclendon. And Coach, for you guys here, the football season's gotten going. It's crazy to think that we're already halfway through the season.
Right.
It's just flown by. It seems like just yesterday we were in spring practice.
Exactly.
But, last year was a great year for you guys.
Yes,
and you had 2 years at McKenzie before you came over here and, had big success here. Your first year, y'all go 11-1. Last year, you're able to get to the semifinals, and you finished with an 11-3 record, and now this year you're sitting at 2-3, but a big win last week over Tallahassee, and one that you really got to hope kind of gets you guys going in the right direction. And you lost a good bit from a season ago. Had a lot of good players on that team, but for you here coming to Greenville. You've been here for some years now. You're finally able to kind of really start establishing your program. Where do you really feel like you guys are at as a program right now and under your helm here?
Right. Well, I feel good about where we're at. I think we have great student athletes. Our kids work extremely hard. It's just the ups and downs of a high school season.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to have those weeks where things don't always go your way. But our kids are resilient. They've shown great effort and great attitude, and I'm looking for big things in this second half of the season.
Getting your head coaching career here in Alabama started at McKenzie.
Mm-hmm.
How much do you feel like that experience there, those couple years, really helped prepare you for what you had here at Greenville coming up a little bit in classification?
No doubt. I mean, I started out as a head middle school coach. That prepared me, I think, to be the head coach at McKenzie. And then just dealing with a program on a day-to-day basis, what you have to deal with from the student-athlete standpoint to the parents to the administration to everything. McKenzie was a great time, 2 years. We had great success there, great community down there in McKenzie. And, coming back to Greenville, my hometown, the expectations are always there, with a program and the history like Greenville has. We know what the expectations are, and we set those expectations on a daily basis with our student athletes, with our players, and so great experience in McKenzie prepared me from where I am today, but still a lot of work to do.
Obviously, McKenzie a little bit smaller classification than Greenville is. I mean, what are some of the differences in coaching at a school the size of McKenzie and then coming over here and coaching at
right.
5A
Well,
school at Greenville?
You've got probably a lot more moving parts. A lot of student athletes here in Greenville. We've got 75 to 100 football players that we average each year, and down in McKenzie we were looking from 25 to 35. So you've got a lot more personalities to deal with, a lot more, like I said, moving parts to deal with. But the day-to-day focus as far as football and the standpoint of us getting better and all that, it's all the same. Here's our expectations. Here's what we want to do. Let's be organized and let's get out there and make sure we get the best out of each day that we can.
Have you had to adjust how you coach any, to
not really, because
team?
Like I said, because I'm going to try to treat the kids the same no matter where I'm at. I'm going to be myself, and there's certain expectations I have for each player, and it doesn't matter if we're at a 1A or a 7A or whatever. My expectations are, we're going to work hard, number one. We're going to be respectful to each other, and then the third thing, we're just going to make sure we have a good time and we're doing what we're supposed to do.
First year here, like I mentioned, great success, and I feel like in your tenure, even though you've had some up and downs with wins and losses, y'all been competitive every single year.
Right.
You've been very consistent in how competitive your team's been, and some years you're just able to win some of the close games, some years you're losing some of them. But, what is it that's helped you guys be so competitive and be really in every single game, during your time here?
I think it all goes back to the players. They're just relentless pursuit just to compete, and that's something that we try to drive home every day. We've never had an issue with our kids not playing hard. I feel like our kids play hard every game. Now, do we come out sometimes, on the other end that we don't want to be on? Yes, we do, but I don't think there's ever been a game where I've looked back and said, oh, we didn't play hard enough. Our kids play extremely hard. I know that every game they come into Friday night, that they're going to give everything that they've got. Sometimes you do that and it still doesn't work out, but that's all you can do. You give everything you have, and sometimes you come up empty-handed, but all you can do is go back and do it again next week and give everything you've got. I feel like that's what we've been able to do. Our kids have been consistent with their effort, And sometimes the ball doesn't bounce your way. You have 1 or 2 plays, and we've lost 3 games this year by 6 points, every one of them. So, I mean, it's 1 or 2 plays here or there, So never had a problem with our kids not playing hard. They work extremely hard in the weight room. It's just, finding it and putting it all together.
Last year, obviously, we're halfway through this season, but for last year, to have the year that you guys had, to gain the experience that you were able to gain, making it all the way to the semifinals,
Right.
I mean, how important was that for you in this whole entire program, being able to do
Well,
that?
something that we haven't done in 25 years,
Mm-hmm.
Make it to the 4th round like that. So it was a lot of fun. Looking back on it, I wish I would have taken maybe more of a time to enjoy it, because as a coach, it's just you win on Friday night, then it's on to the next opponent the next day, and you don't really have time to process it, and then you're able to look back on it at the end of the year. But I wish I would have enjoyed a little bit more and really take time to enjoy the fact that we did what we did. But it was a lot of experience for myself and for the coaching staff that we returned. Our players, I think, gained a lot of valuable experience. Just being able to play on the road and some environments that we were in, just a lot of fun. Something to me what high school football is all about. Once you get into the playoffs, then anything can happen, and just a lot of fun. Something that definitely makes you want to get back to that point again.
Obviously for this season, like you mentioned, 3 losses by 6 points, and coaches say it all the time. You'd rather be getting better as the season goes on, and while you've had some tough losses early, you still got everything in front of you. You can still make the playoffs. You can still even host a playoff game.
That's
and
exactly
so,
right.
Where do you really feel like you guys just haven't been able to get over that hump? In some of those close games, and if y'all really improve and maybe just this one area, that maybe it would result in an undefeated season so far.
Right. Well, we're very young, like you referenced earlier. We lost a lot on offense, so we're returning some guys that are still gaining experience, and they're gaining that experience each time we go out and play on Friday night. So I'm hoping that these first 5 games have been some experience for those guys to kind of get them used to what it takes to get, like you say, get over that hump. We're not really turning the ball over offensively. Defense is doing a great job in keeping us in those games, and that was kind of our game plan going into the season, was the defense is going to have to keep us in those games, and hopefully we will have a chance. We've had a chance in every game. We just either haven't made the play or just little things, just maybe having a penalty here that was a big chance there, or just something. So. Like I said earlier, the kids are working hard. I've got total confidence in them that we're going to get this thing turned around and get it going in the right direction. And, second half of the season, like you said, you want to make sure you're getting better. I feel like we are getting better, but we've got to go out there and show it on Friday night.
How much better do you feel like y'all got on Friday night against Tallahassee? I mean, from reading on it, going into halftime, they had some momentum in the game. You guys were able to really come out and take over the second half. I mean, do you feel like that's something you are going to be able to build off of the rest of the year?
I think so. Like I said, the defense created several turnovers. We had 2 interceptions returned for touchdowns that game. The defense has been doing an extremely good job each week. We've just got to continue to try to make those plays. And, I think sometimes when you get in those situations, you want to press a little bit and try to make things happen. I think we just have to go out there and continue to do what we've been doing. We've just got to do a little bit better.
What is it that just hadn't made the offense click? Obviously you said they're
young.
Well,
like I said, we've got a 10th grade quarterback right now. We've got some guys in some skill positions. So, we've been good on first and second down. Our third down efficiency just hadn't been where it needs to be. I'm not expecting us to score every time that we have the ball, but we need to be able to drive the ball and at least help the defense out some. But we've got to find a way to score some points and get some points on the board. If we can do that, then I think we've got a really good football team.
Where have you gotten better offensively though from week 1?
Well, we've gotten better. I feel like the quarterback's gotten better. All right, our receivers have gotten better. I think we've gotten better as a whole. We're still just not to that point where we need to be able to take over games offensively. And a lot of it starts up front, making sure that we have the right blocking techniques and those type of things. And then just from the standpoint of making the right call at the right time, it's all about executing You know, I think somebody said a long time ago, it's not the X's and O's, it's the Jimmies and the Joes. You know, we want to make sure we're getting those guys in the position to be successful. And, you know, if we can do that, I feel like we'll be in good shape.
You know, I mean, like we mentioned, it's been a tough start, but it's been one of those where you're right on the cusp.
Right.
And so what do you think? I mean, does it just take winning one of these close games? Do you
Yeah,
feel
I think
like kind
so.
of get over
Definitely
that hump?
having some confidence, getting some, you know, having some, something happen early on, you know, good. Not that we've been, you know, having some things bad happen, but if we can have something good happen to us early on and get us going, then I feel like that would just propel us a little, you know, forward a little.
Well, Coach, I really appreciate you taking the
Amen.
time to
Thank
sit down
you.
with me.
Thank you. Yes,
good
sir.
luck to you guys the rest of the year, and you know, looking forward to seeing how the second half of the season shapes out for you.
Thank you very much. Thank you for being here.